It's an Eastern Conference battle here at the Air Canada Centre in downtown Toronto as the Raptors look to work their home court advantage. Hi, everyone. I'm Kevin Harlan with Steve Kerr and Clark Kellogg. Happy to have you along for this edition of the NBA on 2K Sports. This is the last stop for the 76ers before returning back to Philadelphia. Well, it's been an improvement this year over last season. They made a lot of adjustments, and happy to see that they translate into some tangible results.
Well, right now for the 76ers, they've certainly looked more than solid to start this season. I mean, still one of the top teams in the league, and getting it done impressively.
Yeah, the regular season is really just a warm-up for them. I mean, the question is how deep they'll be able to go once the playoffs roll around.
Now a look at Philadelphia's starting lineup. We've got Wilson Chandler. O'Neal is out there with Rajon Rondo. Then there's Embiid, and it's Noel in at the 4 spot. Now here's Rondo after the miss from Baller. Rondo kicks to O'Neal. Back to Rondo, and there's the pass to Embiid. No good. Now Lowry. He's coming off a 10-point game against Denver. Here's Valanciunas, and again, no good by Toronto. 76ers have gone 1 of 3 from the field to start this one so far. And the rejection by Valanciunas, and they get it back. To the middle. It's stolen by Valanciunas. Ross, that's good.
You know, something we're seeing less and less of these days, that little finger roll.
So the 76ers, their last game, lost to the Rockets.
And that game featured one of the least consistent offensive performances you're going to see from them, Clark.
Yeah, no spurt ability on display at all, fellas. I mean, they needed to make a few runs, but it just never was able to happen for them.
And they're now 1 for 5 to start this game, so having trouble finding any offensive rhythm.
Here's Baller. Cans it from downtown. Baller's got himself going there. First points of the game on the deep ball. On defense, Toronto, fresh from a win against the Nuggets.
You know, so often in the NBA we talk about how you have to earn your points the hard way, but it didn't seem like that was the case. Everything came pretty easily.
Too many of their points came the easy way, Steve. You're right. On dunks and layups against the defense that didn't really put up much resistance.
Let's go quickly over to Doris Burke for an update.
I was able to catch up with the head coach for Philadelphia. He told me there aren't many big men with the mobility and length of Jonas Valanciunas, and that he's a player they'll really have to account for, saying, quote, JV's still developing his skill set, but there just aren't that many people in the world of his size. And you factor in his motor, he can really impact the game. Guys, we'll see how they try to deal with him.
Always great to hear from you, Doris. And that one's good. Chandler's got himself on the board with 3 there.
He can become a weapon for them if he gets going early from long range.
Rondo against Lowry. Lowry a screen on O'Neal. Baller. Here's Humphrey. O'Neal with the rebound.
That was a layup, and you've got to knock that down. You've got to convert when you get those opportunities.
Outside Rondo. Feeds it to Embiid. And he banks in the layup. Embiid's got his second bucket. And here in the first quarter, with a little over 3.5 minutes played, here is Lowry. Quiet so far offensively, searching for his first points of the game. Baller passes to Lowry. Off target with his three. Philadelphia's gone 1 of 2 from long range in the first quarter. Rondo dishes to Embiid. On the wing, Chandler. Outside Rondo. He kicks it to O'Neal. Just 5 to shoot. Pass to Chandler. Lets it go with a three. Can't hit. Now Toronto takes it the other way. And guys, this is the first they're seeing of Philadelphia this year.
And the season series between these teams, 4 games in all, starting today, it's going to go a long way toward determining how this division shakes out by the end of the year.
Here's Baller. Misses the three, and he used the pump fake well there, but he couldn't capitalize. Chandler kicks to O'Neal. And the go-ahead bucket, no good.
Things have kind of gone south for him here in the quarter.
And the official signaled the backcourt violation. Not very careful there. And here are some big men who, when they get it in tight, are as close to a sure thing as we've got. Here are the top field goal percentage leaders among NBA centers and power forwards. 5th, Joel Embiid.
You know, it's one thing to be able to create high-quality shots for yourself, but you still have to finish. And there's no doubt all those guys can do both.
Yeah, every sentence needs a period. It's one thing to get the shot off, but you need to finish. You need to take care of
All right, everyone.
Most of their chances are easy. Well, early on in the season still, but Kevin, it's time to take a look at where the 76ers sit right now in the league stats. Opponent scoring. That's a good number, and that's a good place to be as a team in that statistical category.
No, they just play hard, Clark. They play hard every single night, and that's really shown in those steals totals that you talked about. They really attack the offense. They try to make every possession a difficult one. And when they're on their game, they're forcing turnovers, creating havoc, and then getting out in transition.
Toronto with the ball. Wilson Chandler missing from long range. Baller, guarded by O'Neal. Here's Baller. And again, no good by Toronto. The 76ers shooting a pretty distressing 27% here in the early minutes.
Obvious foul.
Yeah, he took a hit right there and earned those free throws.
The 76ers shooting their first free throws of this game.
Well, the season numbers for this club are really low. I mean, this is something that the team has been focusing on. They've got to improve.
And, Kevin, it's something they've been working very hard to correct and to change. I mean, they know how important it is to fix that inability at the free throw line.
O'Neal hits them both. Toronto trailing. Lowry passes to Baller. He dishes it to Ross. Clock at 6 to end the drought. Count the bucket.
The 2 points are pretty much a lock when they're able to get the ball into that position inside.
Philadelphia's gone just 1 of 4 from three-point range here in the first. Hickson sets the screen for Rondo. Hickson dishes to Rondo. O'Neal kicks to Hickson. Back to O'Neal. Hickson tries to free himself up. And O'Neal gets it to go.
Boy, it's got to be a relief for him to finally get one to fall. No longer has he been vagrant from the field. He can relax a little bit and exhale.
And so here's Toronto. Trailing by 2. It's off his leg. And the ref's whistling a kick ball. So it's both teams making substitutions here. Six to shoot. Baller passes to Arnold. Lets it go from deep. Second shot opportunity, and Philadelphia grabs the miss. with some arc. Here's Bazemore. And so he draws the foul on the shot. A trip to the line to shoot two. Here we are in November, and let's see how things are going out east in the early season. You look at the Raptors. Off to a great start this season, currently in second. And, of course, there's Philadelphia, a half game back.
Looking at Toronto, with the way they started the season, they'd have you thinking they were one of the favorites coming in instead of the exact opposite.
Yeah, Clark, I mean, there were a lot of teams getting a ton of attention in the preseason. And let's just say they were not one of them.
The 76ers leading. Now Roten, averaging 6 points per contest. To the wing on the left. Here's McDaniels. Plays it up and banks it in. McDaniels got his first points in this one.
Well, he's so good at recognizing where the openings are and getting the ball to the rim.
Pass to ball. So he gets the whistle. Contact on the way up and 2 shots coming up. Toronto shooting their first free throws here tonight.
Yeah, this is a very good free throw shooting team, guys. I mean, you look at the numbers, impressive.
Yeah, guys, they can feel very good about themselves when you bring up those statistics. Impressive numbers.
What's up, guys?
Here's Roten. Still getting warmed up offensively. No buckets yet in the game for him. So on the floor for Philadelphia. Kent Bazemore is out there with Tony Roten. And there's Hickson. And it's McDaniels at the 3 spot. So it's Toronto now. It's a 3-point game. Fresh from a win against the Nuggets.
And with the type of defense they played that day, they were able to cause a lot of mistakes, Clark.
And you know exactly what that means. I mean, causing a lot of mistakes means cashing in on those turnovers. And they've done a great job of getting into the middle of that defense and scoring in the paint.
Well, and that's why they're on this run, guys. They're getting the ball inside and getting really high percentage looks.
Shoots the 3. And it's McDaniels with the rebound.
Really good performance so far on the boards for this club.
Boy, I like the way they've done a great job carving out space under the basket when the shots have gone up. Boy, I tell you what, nice little run here they're going on.
Now the story is points in the paint, Clark. I mean, they're getting point-blank shots every time down.
So it's Toronto. They trail by 7.
Well, that may have been the move of the night right